Hello, my name is James Bowden, and I'm making this video presentation for military intelligence class as taught by Dr. Christopher Sneeringer. This is a presentation covering Jisr Doreaa Dream 6 scenario as presented. 5 key people have been identified as actors within the village and within this scenario. 4 of them are Iraqi and 1 of them is American. One of the key Iraqi actors is actually a member of a local Al Qaeda cell based in Jisr Doreaa and is needing to be either arrested or eliminated in order for the mission to be successfully completed. The first key actor to be identified in this scenario is Mayor Hussein. Mayor Hussein serves as more than just a mayor. He is the Iraqi government for the villagers. Many of the Iraqi villagers will not have any strong connection with the national government or with the provincial government. Most of the time, the Iraqi village mayor or leader serves as the strongest point of contact and connection, and usually is the first stop and sometimes the only stop in having needs met. It is very important to secure the cooperation of Mayor Hussein because he is the one who will give permission or deny permission for the Iraqi team and the American team to work in the village and to set up successful operations. It is also vital to obtain his cooperation because he is most familiar with the needs of the village, and he is not only aware of the needs of the village on a large scale, but he is in regular and active contact with many of the villagers themselves. And so he is in a primary position to understand the needs of the various people and to assess what is best to help open the doors for the program to have success. Also, as demonstrated in the video, Mayor Hussein is vitally aware of the people who are in the village, the composition, and who is and who is not supposed to be in the village. And he is able to provide information on the location and the names and identity of people who may be inimical to the process that is being set up by the government and by the American military. The next person who is vital for the success and a key actor for this scenario is Lieutenant Connors. In the presentation, we see that Lieutenant Connors is very knowledgeable about his role and about his job and tactics and setting up strong and successful deterrence, but he is also, and more importantly, knowledgeable of Iraqi culture and customs. And we see throughout the scenario that he is able to use that knowledge on a routine basis to set up a successful program, understanding the needs of the Iraqi people are most likely to be medical in nature. And so he understands that to win hearts and minds, to conduct successful hearts and minds operations, he needs to offer something tangible and good, and that these need to be objects and materials that are hard to obtain through other sources, particularly through the provincial government or even the national government. He is also able to have a good, successful relationship with Lieutenant Javier, who we will discuss in a moment. But he is apparently able to have a good and much better assessment of Lieutenant Javier, and he is much more sensitive to the cultural norms and how to establish relationships. As I've discussed and suggested, Lieutenant Javier is also vitally important for the success of this mission. Lieutenant Javier is a part of the 2nd Iraqi Brigade, and contrary to the assessment provided to Lieutenant Connors, appears to be very knowledgeable about his job and his responsibilities within that. He has moved into the village to begin setting up the means to transition to first establish cooperation with the American team, and then to slowly transition that from an American face and into an Iraqi faced operation. And Lieutenant Javier will be very important for setting up law enforcement training, training for future security through stepping these villagers up to perform security and law enforcement roles. And he is also a key point of local connection with the mayor. So he forms a very vital nexus between the American operation as well as the Iraqi government and Mayor Hussein. Now, one of the more important people within this scenario is also Ahmed. Ahmed is actually the cousin of Lieutenant Javier, but much more importantly than that, he is a resident of Jisr al Doreaa. And as such, Ahmed has very strong local connections. He has a connection with the mayor, and he is able to provide the mayor with a local tangible presence with this operation. So the mayor can see him as a reliable partner within the organization, but he can also see that his steps and what the Americans and what the Iraqis are asking, the Iraqi government is asking of him, will have a positive local outcome. So he represents a very vital point of connection also between Lieutenant Javier and the mayor, because he may be able to serve as a liaison between the two parties if any part of the relationship should go bad and there should be interruptions in the process. Another person who is very vital and a key actor within this scenario, but from a different perspective, is that of Qasim Farid. Qasim Farid is a local Al-Qaeda operative cell leader. Apparently, he moved into the village of Al Doreaa 2 weeks prior to the mobilization and entrance of the American team. Apparently, he killed and eliminated people that he identified as key people that may attempt to stop him and prevent him from carrying out his mission. And with his elimination, it will be very likely that the American mission will succeed. We already saw him plan, equip, and execute the mission against the American outpost. And so he definitely presents a high threat against any security personnel, American or Iraqi. But also he represents a threat to the leadership of Mayor Hussein. He is obviously able to gather followers and influence people to follow his plans. And so he represents a threat to the political stability of the village and challenging that leadership relationship. Now, in conclusion, I would like to say that I do believe that even though Lieutenant Connors will be departing from the area, that it would be vital to continue to support the village leadership and also the Iraqi mission. And if I were to be giving an assessment of future steps, then a future step would be to put a patrol back through the village of Jisr al Doreaa in order to ensure that the mayor, Lieutenant Javier, and Ahmed are still functioning as a unified team and are still uh, able to carry out that mission together and are not in disagreement. It would also be my recommendation that any goods, such as medical supplies, would continue to be delivered beyond the 6 month to 9 month time frame in order to ensure that there was continued belief and continued credibility for the mission, and that the Mayor Hussein, did not withdraw permission or become antagonistic to the mission, because, as expressed in the video, he felt that he had heard promises before and was betrayed by a lack of fulfillment. And I believe that long-term fulfillment is key to maintaining that relationship. And finally, I do believe that it is vital for continued support of the Iraqi government to ensure that they believe that the mission is key and vital. Thank you very much.